Mike's Daily Podcast.
What was that key, Haley?
The key of awesome.
That was the highest key I've ever heard. That's amazing. That's Haley. How do you say your last name?
The Semi?
The Semi.
The Zemi.
The Yeti. No, the Semi.
Not the Yeti.
The Semi.
They have cool t-shirts, though.
Hello, welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I'm Mike Matthews. We're at Cafe Anyway, where you heard us sing that beginning of the song, and now we go on with the show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Today, it's part 3 of my 4-part interview with Madeline Victoria. Just another Thursday is what today is. Thursday's not Friday, and that means I'm perturbed day. Amy Schumer's getting badmouthed by Amy haters for sure day. This is my song that's slightly disturbed day. I had to work and couldn't play.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
On my podcast yesterday, did you know I once interviewed Saint Motel? It's on my webpage.
Mike's
End of transmission.
Daily Podcast.
Snow now.
Yeah!
I wrote, this is my waking song that's slightly disturbed day.
This is my waking song on slightly disturbed day.
I don't understand what I was trying to say. I'll just take out waking. Let me delete that. All right. So we're somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont. We yesterday did not do a show. I had to work on things here, and Haley, I couldn't record Haley, and so we just said, screw it. We're out of here.
And the day before that, we did do a podcast, but we basically blew out and avoided the topics we were going to talk about.
Right, because we were going to talk about the teleportation video.
And then we got distracted by...
Mike's Daily Podcast.
By the fifth Beatle.
Eric Clapton.
That's what I was doing while you were looking up. While you were singing your song, I was looking up all the fifth Beatles.
Yeah, because that's a term often thrown around, and a recent fifth Beatle died.
Stuart Sutcliffe, Pete Best, Jimmy Nicol, Andy White, Brian Epstein, George Martin.
Well, George Martin was the producer, so
yeah.
Oftentimes producers are thought of as members of the band. For example, Def Leppard's often thought of Mutt Lange, who produced many an album in the 80s, including Billy Ocean's stuff.
Ooh.
Wanna be your lover boy? Go ahead.
Neil Aspinall, Derek Taylor, Tony Sheridan, Billy Preston, Jimmy Nicol.
We'll go round in circles.
Yeah. Eric Clapton, of course, as we were referencing. Also, Murray the K, which was a disc jockey that George Harrison said was the fifth Beatle. George Best, which was a footballer who was dubbed El Beatle for some reason.
Not Pete, but Pete Best. I always hear because he was with
Pete
them.
Best was one of the drummers, not the guy who died. Little Richard,
because they loved him. He was a big influence on them in the early days.
The Volkswagen Beetle in the background of the Abbey Road picture
is a fifth Beatle.
Has been referred to as the fifth Beatle. These are all like just they've been referenced at some time as the fifth Beatle, whether it was a joke or not. Klaus Vormann, who played bass with them in a few places.
Klaus Vormann. Oh!
The Liverpoolian comedian Jimmy Tarbuck, who knew John Lennon.
And I think Klaus was the son of the woman that John Lennon dated for a while in Hamburg, if I recall from that one movie, Backbeat, that I watched.
Anyway, there's a lot of fifth Beatles.
Interesting. So, how come Nirvana doesn't have that, like the fourth Nirvana?
Because
there was a 3-piece band.
The cellist.
The cellist from the acoustic performance?
The cellist from the acoustic MTV performance.
MTV performance. That's
my favorite member of Nirvana.
That's so cool. I want to be the member of some band. So
I want to be sedated.
I did interview Saint Motel. So far, that's the band thing that I interviewed that got the most famous.
Yeah.
So you can hear that interview. It was from October of 2012. And And, you can go to the interviews page on mikesdailypodcast.com. The first interview page, which is from 2011 to 2012, and scroll down and you'll see Saint Motel. And if you're a Saint Motel fan, are you? Do you like that song that's getting played all over?
Yeah, I like that song. The rest of their stuff.
How does that song go?
You know you're just my type.
Yeah. AJ Jackson, the lead singer, was so nice. And as bad an interviewer as I am now, 4 years ago or whatever that was, 3 years ago, I super sucked. So enjoy that interview. I love your oohs. They continue forever. Let's talk about teleportation videos.
Teleportation videos.
YouTube features videos of people and things that just suddenly appear out of nowhere.
It's true.
And some of them look very convincing, these videos.
Yes. We're not saying that they're not shopped or photo manipulated in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But it'd be freaking awesome if they weren't.
Yeah. The guy suddenly appears on a bicycle behind another guy. Where did he come from?
Behind the other guy. That's the one that's really, really obviously not real.
And then how about these cars just appearing out of nowhere, like in Times Square and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's weird.
There was a couple pretty crazy ones like that.
Or a guy that flies out, hits a car, a human.
So
being.
it was a dashboard cam, and the guy's driving behind a couple cars, and
like
he
an
like
SUV or something.
Yeah, he like merges into the lane behind the SUV, and the SUV starts to kind of swerve to the side a bit, like he's changing lanes, and then you like see something under the car, almost like something's hanging onto the bottom of the car, kind of appears, and then all of a sudden, this guy appears, like he's hanging onto the door of the car, but he wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And, like, he reacts like he's being brushed by the car because it's hitting him.
Uh-huh.
And then he, like, falls to the ground.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, but the thing is, to do that effect, if you were to fake that, you'd basically just have to erase the guy from anywhere in the frames before that.
Well, yeah.
And some people have that time to do that.
Or you could just film the guy doing that thing and then insert it into the...
Yeah, but it looked pretty real. I don't know. Realistic.
Yeah.
I feel as if you can fool people up to a point, and then still, then we don't have the... It's like when you watch some $1 billion made movie and you're like, oh my gosh, that totally doesn't look realistic.
Yeah. What? You mean there's not such a thing as flying CGI squids?
Oh, sad.
Robot squids?
What else did you want to say about teleportation videos?
I really like the last one. And I want to know the context. In the video that Mike sent me, it was a collection of a bunch of them. And the last one was during some sort of a catastrophe. And that's the thing. I don't know what it was. I wish I did. It's like something exploded somewhere. And so everyone's kind of panicking and running. And this person, right before the explosion, you see like a flash above their head. And then the explosion happens and they go running. And the camera picks them up, like disappearing in a flash of light. And then another flash of light in the distance going off, and you see someone appear and start running. It looks like the same person. Yeah,
that's a strange one. And this video on YouTube just keeps replaying these videos. So, like,
in slower motion, and zooming them in, and
so you don't have to do it
with dramatic, like,
music in the background. No narration, just the music in that.
Sometimes they circle things in red if they really want you to see them, but that's about it.
So that's what we do for fun.
Fun. Hello, Daddy takes the T-boat away.
Hey, I've been watching a British show called Death in Paradise, and I guess it started in 2011. 96 episodes. It's on Netflix.
All right.
It takes place in the Caribbean. It's a British guy. It's like a fish out of water show. Like, he's from England, and now he has to adapt to the hot, humid Caribbean, and they've come up with these quirky, funny characters, and I'm enjoying it. And the murder mysteries are pretty cool. They always put a foreshadowing somewhere. Like if you're watching, you're like, oh, so they're. When you think back later, you're like, they told us who the killer was.
Yeah.
Like there was this one episode where the butler did it, and somebody joked at the beginning, oh, the butler did it because the butler always does it. But then then you figure out at the very end
That the butler did it?
that the butler did it.
Shocking.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing for excitement.
Yeah.
And I made my crock pot lasagna where I put summer squash in it. It was
I'm
delicious.
still confused by that. How do the noodles and such not get mushy?
So they get mushy.
Okay.
But you're Italian, so you might not like this as lasagna because it's not like...
I like most things produced out of a crock pot.
It's cool. You can just... it's cheesy and delicious.
Just like me.
Exactly. What I wanted to say was Black Friday will work great for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's the perfect time to bring up this topic.
And cookies sound good. Your aunt makes good cookies?
No, she didn't make the cookies.
Oh.
We were both eating cookies while I was messaging you.
Oh.
And-
what kind of cookies?
Gluten-free cookies.
What are they, like chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip.
Oh, yum. So
Yes.
no flour whatsoever. Or other gluten.
No, it's gluten-free flour.
How do you make gluten-free? Because isn't flour itself a gluten?
No, wheat is with gluten. Wheat flour.
Wheat flour.
But flour can be made from many things.
Ah, okay. So you got to just avoid wheat.
Yeah. And barley.
And
most oats. And rye. And anything with gluten in it, because gluten is the protein.
What if a delicious steak is made out of gluten? Okay, so it's some kind of vegetable thing because eyes are burning through me right now. I was not saying that steak is bad. Do you eat steak?
Yeah.
I never eat steak anymore.
I'm not a huge fan of steak. It's boring.
That was like, okay, my parents, your grandparents were like, oh, I'm gonna have a steak dinner. And then that's what they would say.
My parents were like that too.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. We'll have a baked potato and a steak dinner.
My parents are old.
I can't wait to meet them. Your mom sounds awesome. She used to be a clown.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Who's coming in today? Oh, look, who just walked in. Hello, Mike Matthews. Hello, Haley. It's Chely Shoehart. Everybody's like, oh my god, I can't believe you guys were talking about people disappearing and reappearing. It's like so scary.
Well, disappearances are another story entirely. I don't know if you saw the YouTuber that I really got Mike Matthews into is this guy named Danger Dolan. And he's got this video that's like the 22 most mysterious disappearances. And most of them involve boats. And all the boat ones are like, the boat went out with a full crew, blah, 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 blah. And it was found 3 months later, and everything was intact on the boat, and it looked like people just disappeared.
Oh my god, that's like so scary.
I know. Don't go on a boat unless you want to.
Boats scare me.
I like boats.
The only time I want to be on a boat is if Andy Samberg is on the boat, and he's like singing about it. Because he's like really cute, Andy Samberg.
I will agree to that. He is adorable.
I mean, he's like a walking doll with his little pin eyes and his curly hair and his goofy smile.
I'm on a boat.
Wow, Andy. Now, is that the guy that had that movie, Big Daddy? That's Adam Samberg.
Do not disgrace Andy Samberg's good name.
Didn't they do a movie together, Andy Samberg and Adam Sandler?
Probably, but I hate Adam Sandler.
That's like getting two people together that have the exact same name, like
John Smith and
Bruce Springsteen and Bruce Hornsby, or Bruce Springsteen and Rick Springfield. In fact, Rick Springfield got so mad people kept calling him Bruce. He had a song called "Don't Call Me Bruce" that was a
Orson Welles doing a book by George Orwell and H.G. Wells.
I love how you bring up those three
because I get them confused all the flipping time.
Oh, we missed on October 31st on Halloween. We should have read the entire War of the Worlds script and bored our listeners utterly.
Yeah, we should have.
It was a time.
No.
Wait, I'm doing my George Winston Churchill. I was in Churchill. Okay, go ahead.
It was the best of.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Yeah, but if we read the original George Orwell script, no. The original Orson Welles script, see?
Written by H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells wrote the book. The script was adapted.
By Orson Welles.
I don't know if it was by Orson Welles, but it was adapted for a radio play. And there is no reference to it being a story in the entire script. There's no narration. It is just entirely dialogue.
Yeah.
And sound effects.
Yeah.
And it's like, target 100 meters.
Wait, no.
Engage.
Actually, later on though, he does do a first-person narration. He's like, I've been in the ruins for days. I'm walking. I haven't seen another human. But that's much later on. By the time all that panicky stuff happened, the entire country was like, "What's going on?
Aliens are attacking New York!
Oh my god!
Was it? It wasn't New York. It was New Jersey.
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, because the original book was London. The radio adaptation was New Jersey. The 1940s movie was Los Angeles. And the 2000s movie with Tom Cruise was New York.
Interesting. Look who else just walked in. I'm like, this is Floyd the Floorman! And this is John Deere, the engineer. Yes, I find alien invasion and transportation fascinating topics.
That rhymes.
I combined the two words together to create alien transportation. And Andy Samberg and Adam Sandler, I have fused their genes together to create Andy Sambergler.
Isn't that just Rand Cruiser?
Oh no! That would be this other person who just walked in. Oh, this is the Disgruntled Fiddle Player. I'm not supposed to come in until next show, but Rand Cruiser. Yeah, Rand Paul at the debate said a couple things like, we've got to stop spending money on the military.
That's true.
That was interesting. And then, what's his name? Marco Rubio was like, you're an isolationist. And he said, I don't like hitting this desk. I'm not Kennedy. Anyway, guys, we gotta wrap it up because I gotta call Margot soon and tell her about that thing.
Right, okay. Do we have an interview, right?
Yes. Madeline Victoria, part 3 of the interview. The next show will be the finale, obviously. And we'll hear another great song. She sings lovely. Now, you're pointing at me.
Mike'sDailyPodcast.com.
Oh.
YouTube, Stitcher, Mixcloud, Podomatic. We're going to put it on SoundCloud. Not Player FM? Yes, Player FM?
Yes, Player FM. Ameristream Live is
not Ameristream Live.
It's gone. I don't know what's going on with
it.
them.
It sucks. We hate them. Dropbox, but you can't search on Dropbox. So if you want the show on Dropbox, just go to Mike'sDailyPodcast.com and
there's a link.
You can download it, remix it.
Do what you will with it.
Do what you will. Make us say silly things by cutting out little tidbits of our voices.
Auto-tune us. That'd be great.
Auto-tune. Jason Derulo.
And you can catch this on Amazon if you go to Amazon.
I'm on a boat.
If you click on the Amazon link and buy something that helps us out, you can also donate money through PayPal and become an Inglorious Mike's Daily podcaster, and all the characters will say hi to you. Recording-wise. What else? Oh, the blog, the daily podcast picture, all the past interviews there. Yeah,
we're on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. You can find my Tumblr and my Facebook.
Yeah, it's Haley the Semi.
Haley the Semi, or Haley Raised the Semi. But it's spelled weirdly, so you have to figure it out. On Tumblr.
On Tumblr? Okay. That sounds like a fun adventure to try and figure that out.
Yeah, but I revealed it in a previous episode long ago.
So you'll have to go back and listen to every show to figure it out.
Dun dun dun.
And here's Madeline Victoria.
Into an interview.
Okay, cool.
I'm speaking with Madeline Victoria. She's in Texas right now. You said San Benito?
Yes, San Benito.
San Benito, Texas. How's the weather?
It is actually really nice right now. I call it the in-betweens, the in-between the seasons. Right now, we're not pretty much. We're supposed to be in fall down here, but it's it's still a little warm. But I mean, it's nice. Usually it's pretty humid, and right now it's not as humid. So I'm loving it.
Oh, and let's say I haven't really been to Texas. Just switched planes like in Dallas or whatever. Mm-hmm. Let's say if I have 48 hours in Texas, what should I do?
Okay, so like you said earlier, Texas is so huge. I would say, for the countryside of me, the country experience, I love the stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. I believe it's actually the number 2 attraction in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And that is just like a mini Nashville, actually, and it's our own Texas kind of style of just bars just down one big street. Ooh. And you get a taste of so much original band music and so much the Texas sound that we have here. And it's a mixture of even musicians from like the Oklahoma area, since it's so close to Oklahoma, and also all of Texas. So it's really nice. It's very historic. The stockyards there, you can actually still have a gun fight in the middle of the street there in the stockyards, and it is not illegal. It's a legal fight. It would be a legal fight. I hope nobody gets any ideas, but that's
Whoa.
how historic that land is. It's still part of history, and you can walk around drinking beer on the streets as well. And it's not against the law. It's pretty crazy, but I mean, I love it. I love the experience there. I've never had anything, bad going on there. I met a lot of people up there, and also where I'm from, I love South Padre Island. You can come and drive down here and get on the beach, and it's a beautiful, beautiful beach. Experience the life down here. It's really nice.
Oh, I saw pictures. It looks beautiful out there. And I don't know, the drinking thing, that sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's just that one little strip that we're allowed to do that there in Fort Worth.
Interesting. Well, thank you for those tips.
You're welcome.
Tell me, have you met any interesting celebrities?
Yeah, I would say, the country singer, the big artists, being able to share this share with them and share the stage with them has been really, really neat. I got to meet Zac Brown from the Zac Brown Band. He's super awesome, super nice guy. I could just, by meeting him and shaking his hand and talking to him just for a bit, very passionate guy. Very strong-willed man. I could feel and really inspires me, his songwriting, and that was really neat. You
heard the story about Chicken Fried, about how the label was going to release that with some other artist.
Oh man.
And he said, no, this is my song. And he was unknown, like nobody really knew who he was, and he goes, I'm recording this song, and he had to sue one of the big record companies, big label guys, and he won, and then the song ended up being his first big hit.
Yep, I tell you, strong-willed, and that is pretty cool.
Do you know what song by him I really love is Goodbye in Her Eyes?
Oh yes,
that's such a beautiful song.
Yes, it's really great.
It's so sad.
I know, it's like it hits your heartstrings.
I've been through that.
Oh no! Aw, I'm sorry.
I'm going through it right. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going.
We're gonna go into a whole. Let's talk about you now, Mike.
Benita the Rodeo Queen just broke my heart, and I'm going through that. Benita the Rodeo Queen. No, but it is a very good song, and that's so cool. So tell me more about meeting Zac Brown and your other favorite celebrities and musicians you've met.
Well, like I said, he basically, it was just a few words. I did get a little starstruck in the beginning, being backstage, and my dad was with us backstage and preparing or whatever, being there with me, and I was looking straight at him, but I wasn't really, processing what was going on, and my dad kind of hit me on the side like, hey, say hi back. He just said hi to you, and I said, what? He's like, yeah, you're being rude. Say hi back to me. And I said, oh my God, and I was, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't think you were saying hi to me. And, he just told me, good luck when you get up there, give it all you got. And, he just had to say just very few words to really make an impact on me. And, it was great. And another one that I can say my favorite, the Charlie Daniels Band.
Oh.
Just because they're such a, they're legends. He's a legend, and and to be able to share the stage with him and to open the show for him and to also meet with him and actually have a good conversation with him about another artist that's from my hometown, San Benito, Freddie Fender.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was from my hometown, San Benito.
No kidding.
And yeah, it was pretty cool to talk to him about his days with Freddie Fender in Nashville, and how he said, being from San Benito, it's pretty cool and something that I've always appreciated. And the words he said to me as well. It was just an honor and a blessing, and something that I'll never forget, and inspires me even more to just keep going and keep doing what I'm doing. And the band members were just so great as well. I got to hang out with them backstage and talk to them. They got to see me perform. So whenever the band and they start talking about your performance, it's something that I can't even explain. Just like I'm just so humbled. And for them to say too, one day I told them, it's just such an honor to open the show for y'all. And they said, wait, well, one day we're going to be opening for you, so we can't wait for that day. And I said, what? Like, what are y'all talking about? But it was just amazing.
I met Freddie Fender once. He was performing in Ventura, California with the Texas Tornadoes. And I was supposed to introduce the band. And they said, oh, Freddie wants to talk to you. And they bring me backstage, and there's like this eating area, and there's a table, and like all the band members are sitting around the table. And he's like, are you the announcer? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, here's a piece of paper. I want you to say hello to all these people. They live locally. They came out to see me. I want you to say, Freddie Fender acknowledges so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. I got up on stage and said, Freddie Fender, and I didn't know how to word it, so I'm like, I get the paper. Freddie Fender acknowledges, and here are the Texas Tornadoes. And, so I hope I did a good enough job for Freddie.
Yeah, that's all. That's really neat. That's pretty cool.
That was a great band that he had with Doug Somm and, Flaco Jimenez, the accordion player.
That's awesome.
I would like to play your song Wild Ride, which is also awesome. I want to dance in the moonlight to this song.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of my favorites that I've written, and just something that I wrote about being. Actually, it's funny. When I thought of the name, the Wild Ride, we were going out to my uncle's deer lease here in South Texas, and he was taking us out there because he was going to do some changing the feeders or whatever he was going to do, so we went along with him, and that road getting there to out in to the deer lease is just so bumpy and wild, and you can't even, like your head is hitting the top of the truck like crazy. So I'm like, it's like, man, this is such a wild ride. And so from there, it was a literal wild ride. And from there, I just started writing about all the fun things that we do here in South Texas, getting ready for Saturday nights, or either bonfire, going out and then having a bonfire and then eating and then just continuing all night long. So yeah, that's basically about life here in South Texas.
Oh, the picture you paint, Madeline Victoria. I wish that I could go on this adventure with you as we play Wild Ride. And where can they find this song?
They can find it off of iTunes, Amazon. They can Google it up, and it will pop up. So thank you guys.
Here she is on Mike's Daily Podcast.
The night is young and so wonderful.
Yay! All right, next show, the finale of my Inuit interview with Madeline as we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the podcast picture today is Lake Anza in the Berkeley Hills. If you go above Berkeley, there's a Tilden Park and all that, and there's this lake. You can walk around it within like an hour. Beautiful. Look at those crystal waters, Haley. Look at that photo right now.
I'm looking at it right now.
There's my head, the face of my face.
It's bald.
I have a hat on, so you can't see my baldness.
It's still bald.
But the water is beautiful and there's reflecting. So see that wonderful nature pic at mikesdailypodcast.com. Oh my God, this looks so nice. Oh my God, you just disappeared from that picture. Yes, I did, because it's a transport